Hanukkah begins for the Jewish people on Tuesday, December 20th. 5 days after that, the Christians celebrate Christmas. The holidays are very different in origin, the way we observe them, and the level of importance we attach to them. They do have some similarities, though. One way they are similar is that both holidays are based on what the members of each religion perceive as a miracle. The Christians believe that Jesus is a divinity, immaculately conceived and born to a virgin on Christmas to redeem their sins. Hanukkah originated in 165 BC when a small group of Jews, led by Judah Maccabee, overcame an army of Syrian Greek oppressors who were attempting to convert all Jews to their religious belief, by force if necessary. It didn't work. The Maccabees regained control of the Second Temple, but found that it had been defiled by the Syrians. There was only enough pure oil left to burn in the temple menorahs for one night, but it miraculously burned for 8 nights, allowing enough time for more oil to be purified. There is nothing in Scripture to document the miracle of the oil burning for 8 nights. It was never mentioned until the writings of Josephus Flavius, 200 years after the temple was recovered. The story might be true or it might be folklore. It was a common literary tradition in ancient writing to embellish the central occurrence of a story or misunderstood event to the level of a miracle. It was so common, in fact, that we often refer to biblical times as the age of miracles. In modern times, Christian or Jew, we don't get miracles. God isn't handing out laws on stone tablets, parting the Red Sea, or any of the other larger-than-life happenings that we read about in our Bibles. If we want miracles, we rely on Hollywood to conjure up a few on the silver screen because we know there aren't going to be any in our real lives. I, for one, believe that to be totally wrong. We don't need Hollywood for miracles because we live in a world full of them that happen on a daily basis, but we humans are usually too blind and too jaded to see and appreciate them for what they are. Most of us here are old enough to have sat in our living rooms and watched Neil Armstrong walk on the moon in 1969. Was that really any less miraculous than the Red Sea parting? There's an old saying that when something happens for the first time, it's a miracle. When it happens twice, it's luck. When it happens the third time, nobody notices. Unfortunately, that's true. We have miracles put in front of us every day, and we're just too busy or preoccupied to pay any attention to them. Yes, we all watched Neil Armstrong walk on the moon, but many people have done it since he did. Did we watch them? Can any of us even name any of them? It barely gets mentioned in our newspapers when we have someone walking around in space now because we take the miracles for granted. What about new babies? They're born into this world every day, but unless they belong to us or someone very close to us, we don't even think about it. Does that make it any less miraculous when one of these new little people joins the human race? I find spring a miracle that happens for us every year. No matter how many times I watch trees that appear to be dead coming back to life, it always amazes me that it happens. If you really want a miracle to think about, I should point out that this past week was John Lennon's yahrzeit, and I'm not preaching about him tonight. You've never seen that one happen before either. The greatest miracle God gives to any of us is probably the one that we're most prone to take for granted, and that's the miracle of having other people love us. Along with the good in all of us, there is a complex collection of faults, bad habits, and annoying little idiosyncrasies. Can it really be anything less than a miracle when another person can look at our considerably less than perfect selves and love us anyway? That brings me to the other similarity I see between Christmas and Hanukkah. At the holidays, more than any other time of year, we want to be with the people we love and the people who love us. We humans are always striving to progress and improve the world we live in when it comes to our careers, medicine, houses, transportation, so many other areas. But when it comes to our emotional attachments, we view change with a sense of terror. We want our good, loving relationships to stay static forever. Coming home for the holidays is our way of reassuring ourselves that nothing has changed. It's a confirmation that the miracle of love is still there for us. The Dalai Lama has said, "Without love, we could not survive." Human beings are social creatures, and a concern for each other is the very basis of our life together. Where will you get a more intense dose of that much-needed love than in the midst of family and friends at a holiday celebration? I'd like to suggest that we all do something a little different for Hanukkah this year. When you light your menorah on Tuesday night, instead of just focusing on a 2,000-year-old miracle that happened to someone else, if it did indeed happen at all, think too about one that you've seen for yourself. And on each of the 8 nights of Hanukkah, add another miracle to your list as you add another candle. You might be amazed at how many you find when you actually start looking for them. Looking at today's miracles will probably give your holiday a much deeper meaning, and hopefully it will give each one of us a greater awareness of just how miraculous every breath we take can be. And I hope you all have a blessed and peaceful Hanukkah.